Hello, and welcome to a new series, this time focused on the moon. Please subscribe to the channel, share this video and any within the series with your friends and loved ones. Comment beneath, like the video, and turn on the notification bell so you can hear when I release new things. Please send me an email if you would like to have a personal reading of your birth chart. This is my great passion and I love doing it, so thank you so much for tuning in. It brings me so much joy to share this amazing art science with you during this new Aquarian age that we're in. The moon is at home in Cancer and at home in the 4th house, so these are themes of family, mother, home, the heart, emotions. So I hope you enjoy this exploration. Hey guys, Els here to talk to you about the moon in Leo, or the moon in the 5th house, or if you have the moon conjunct the sun. This is because the sun is at home in Leo, Leo is at home in the 5th house. And these are themes of being playful, joyful, siblings, brotherly love. Think of Simba and Nala, just rolling around. It's playful, it's fun. And it's a fire moon. So this is a fire sign. And emotions, when they're in the form of fire, can be very potent, very strong, and quite hard to contain. As a child, or having this as a child, may seem to come with a lot of difficulties and challenges. They're spontaneous, they follow their passions, they follow their heart, and they can be the most fun to be around. We call it sometimes the baby moon, because it doesn't know. It's just bruised knees and scabs all the time. For parents to have this child in the world that we live in, it can be quite suppressed, like all moons. I advise you watch the Aries one as well, because it has similar themes in terms of it not being necessarily appreciated for all of the beauty that it has within it. The moon is a reflection, and the sun reflects off the moon. So when you have these two archetypes coming together, there is a recipe of a kind, but a Leo moon will really take the biscuit. It will really take hold of whatever else is happening in the chart. It's one of the most potent positions to have, and the emotions are just that strong that they can really, no matter what your sun, ascendant, or your Mercury, all of these other signs are, the moon normally will always take hold, unless it's in an air sign. And with a fire sign, it's fast and it's explosive, and it's really, really hard to put back in a box once it's been released. As this moon grows up, it can be utilized in some really advantageous ways if it's used to get behind a project, if it's used to galvanize a group of people. It's just like a kind of snowplow of joy. It just clears the way. It's highly optimistic, this moon, it really is. Because there is such an emphasis on play and enjoyment, then really it can tend to opt in more for the pleasurable and joyful emotions. It can also then, of course, go too far with things like substance abuse, and in very, very impassioned relationships, which might not necessarily benefit it in the long term or have any kind of real value. There's a tendency for superficiality here, and a tendency to get wounded in the ego a little bit, taking the words of others a little too seriously, and then yeah, just a layer of emotion that's very childish and very, think of the period of sort of 7, 8, 9 years old when you're preteen, and it's kind of, you're starting to form an identity, and this is about the identity, this is the ego, the self. And when the moon is here, it's fragile. Not to try and say that the moon is fragile, but the moon in relation to the ego, you know, the moon that wants to change and evolve and shift in relation to something so fixed as fixed fire Leo, it can not necessarily get on too well in this place, and it can sometimes feel a little bit caught up in its own idea of itself. And the free and the floaty, happy Leo moon will be one that can just let go and can bounce back like a rubber ball child without any big grudges. You know, grudges can be a problem here. There is always a tendency with fixed energy to be a little bit stubborn and stuck, and it just doesn't serve you. It just does not serve you to hold on to anything with this position and to have a long story that you wish to. That's the other thing, because it's the performer, to then have a big story that you want to perform about how somebody's wronged you, and you want to relay this to a lot of different people. There can be a tendency for gossip, a tendency for superficiality, a tendency for skimming the surface of emotion. And again, a really great position for an actor, really great position to express something, but then to let it go, like not to hold on to any of these things, but to feel something with a full potency and then release it. And as an actor, this is wonderful to watch, somebody being able to give themselves over fully to an emotion, especially over in such a short space of time. It can be really harnessed in that way, because it's fire. And if we think about the fire signs, Aries is the spark, it's the initiating factor, and then the center of the fire is the flame. The flame is Leo, and this is the fire of the lion's mane. This is the showy, bright, light, in your face type of fire, where Sagittarius is more the embers, you know, very, very hot, but very kind of hidden, whereas this is for everybody to see. So it is very influenced by other people, very influenced by siblings and its peers. You know, if you don't have siblings, then it's your friends and your neighbours, those around you, and the opinions of others. And that can really make it, you know, you want to lick your wounds. And there's a love of shopping and a love of material things and a love of adornments and like making yourself like different and cool and, you know, just appearance. And it doesn't need to be a bad thing at all. That can be really fun and playful, but do watch your bank balance, because there is an impulsivity here which is unlike any other in terms of wanting to spend and wanting to splash out and wanting to treat others, you know, in a nice sense. That can come through here, is this desire to really have a group of friends and be the leader of the pack and share your resources with your little tribe. There's quite a lot of tribalism here as well. It's sweet. And if we know someone with this position, we can't take them all too seriously. And the things that they say mustn't be taken too seriously. You know, it's a lot of theatre, it's a lot of theatrics. If you want to use this, use it well and use it for a specific purpose, but don't let it use you. Look at other places in your chart that are slightly more stable, because this is not the place to go for answers. This is the place to go for inspiration and for creativity and for flair, and for, it's like a one night stand. It's something to enjoy in the moment, but it's not your sanctuary. It's not going to give you that sensation of security and stability. So meditation is extremely good for everyone, but in this position it's lovely because if the mind is being triggered, then the emotions will come up because of a story. There's always this play between, you know, the chicken and the egg, the emotions and the mind, and they kind of create each other, and it's this cycle. And if you can kind of put a lid on one and keep that one calm, then the other one doesn't fly off of its own accord. So, as always, balance is key. Thank you.